Hey guys, hope you're having a good night. I told you, well, some of you, that I'd be doing a group statement on the temporary emergency video notarization authorized by the governor. Video is going to be much easier. It's a lot to type. It's late. You're getting the video, whether you like it or not. All right, so lots of things to clear up on this emergency video notarization, okay? I want to make sure realtors I want to manage your expectations on how helpful this is going to be and how unhelpful it's going to be, okay? I'm going to go through it. This is the bill, and you're welcome to look at it yourselves. I hope you guys will comment and leave questions on anything you want to talk, anything you want to discuss. I'm happy to look into it for you, and we can talk more and more about ideas. I'd love to hear your ideas about how maybe I'm wrong about this, but you'll see what I mean as we go through. So the order was signed through on May 4th, okay? May the 4th be with you all, by the way. It sunsets on August 1st of this year. So by the time we start using it, it's going to go away. And that's one of the many reasons I don't think we're going to be using this very often, if at all, okay? There are extra requirements. Of course, all the typical notary requirements are in here. I do want to throw out a quick reminder to you notary superheroes out there. I know that some of you be thinking you got your notary stamp, you can travel the world. It is not have stamp will travel. You can only, if you're a notary in North Carolina, you can't leave North Carolina and use that notary stamp. Stop doing that. Don't get caught, etc. This remote online notary stuff, it's the same thing. I can't call up my buddy. I can't Zoom up my buddy in California, San Francisco, and be like, I'm going to notarize that deed for you from Asheville. That's not how it works. We're talking about me buzzing someone in Haywood County from Asheville and doing it that way. So keep in mind this remote online notarization for emergency from North Carolina, it would be for signing anything that's in the state of North Carolina. Can't be used anywhere else. And most of the time when we're doing this, away from the office, it is somewhere else, in another state or what have you. Keep that in mind. I'm going to go through and explain the extra requirements now that someone using this has. And then we're going to talk about why I don't think it's going to be used very often, if this doesn't already scare you away. The notary using this, this process, this emergency act, they have their own, they have the original notary requirements. There's some that get added on. Now, some of you may keep a journal when you notarize. I think most of you probably don't. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a lawyer pull out a journal and do journal entries each time they notarize something. I haven't. Maybe you have. Maybe you know someone who does that. I don't. So if you notarize something under this act, you must keep a journal. You must. And there's all kinds of things you have to keep in there. There are 9 requirements you have to keep in that journal on each time you notarize. So you don't notarize 20 times and put one journal entry. You would have 20 journal entries. I don't know about you guys. Maybe if we use these on seller docs, you're talking about 1, 2, maybe 3 journal entries, okay? No attorney that I know is going to sit there and notarize 20, 30 times in a loan package and do 20 or 30 journal entries with 9 items. Closing would take 3 hours. I don't want to sit with that attorney that does that. I want to close with the other guy. So it's not likely going to happen that you're going to see attorneys want to do this. But I will tell you, if you ask your attorney to do one of these remote online notarizations for a deed, a lien affidavit seller side, and they ask to charge more, you better let them, because it's going to take more time. It's more liability, and we got to jump through a lot more hoops. I got to go buy a nice, pretty journal, that kind of thing. Journals aren't free. So let me tell you 3 of the things they're wanting us to add. 3 of the 9, okay? The first 6 are pretty obvious. They want to know the type of video conference technology, like Zoom, I guess. They don't really talk much about that. Whatever you use to talk to the other person that's notarizing in front of you. They want a statement that the notary and principal signer can see each other and hear each other. So I literally would have to say, can you see and hear me? I can see and hear you, and I got to write it down in the journal. Each time I notarize, both times, 3 times. Whether other persons were present in the room and what their names are. Uncle Bob's sitting in the back drinking a beer. I got to have Bob's full name. Write that down for all notaries I do on this video chat. If it's out, first of all, we got to tell people to get rid of the extra people in the room. The kids got to be out of the room, or else we're going to have to write down the kids' names each time. Again, when lawyers ask to charge more when you make them do this, do not be mad at them. Also, the way this works is everything's got to be wet ink. They call it wet ink. It's got to be, it can't be, scanned or faxed. We need originals in real estate. There is a non-original section in here that won't apply for us really, so you can sort of ignore that. On the actual ink documents, the way it will work, I'll get on with you. You'll sign your deed in front of me. I'll check everything I typically do when I take a notary, and we'll do this on Monday. You then have to send me that original deed whenever I receive it, however best you send it. I then get it and notarize it as if I'm doing it on Monday. So if I get it on Tuesday, I notarize the date of Monday because I've watched you do it on Monday. If that document gets lost, it doesn't exist. So a little dangerous there, it's not like this makes us be able to close same day because I got to wait on that document to come back before I can actually notarize it. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. That's not a whole lot faster than just signing with a notary on their end and sending it back to me. It doesn't really save any time or money there. In fact, it will cost you more to do it that way because of all these other requirements that we now have to do just to get it on video. Now, here's why it's not going to help us almost at all. I think it'll help us on seller documents if we need a road maintenance agreement signed from James, who's on the Outer Banks, maybe. But loan packages, these lenders are not North Carolina specific. They use templates that are used throughout the nation. And no offense to any lenders listening, but it's pretty hard to get them to change things on their loan packages once we get them. You guys have seen us try many times. One thing I don't see them ever changing are their notary blocks, their notary acknowledgments. And for each time, you're going to need lawyers to help you with this, guys. Each time you want to do this remote online notarization, there are 3 things you have to add into the notary statement that's not typical. The 2 pretty obvious ones are the county in which the notary public's located. So if it's me, Buncombe. The county in which the principal signer is located. So if it's Haywood County, Haywood County. I don't see many lenders agreeing to add a second county line to their notary acknowledgement, much less this 3rd requirement. And this is the big one. They would have to add into every notary acknowledgement, quote, I signed this notary certificate on date according to the emergency video notarization requirements contained in General Statutes 10B-25 period. On every notary block in that entire 100-page loan package. I don't see any lenders taking the time or money to change their notary blocks just for North Carolina, just for a few months. If we have some that will, I'm happy to close with them and do it this way. But I just don't see that happening. I don't think this is going to help us with any mail-away loan closings. Again, it could help us on seller document signings, other randomly drafted or road maintenance agreements, stuff like that, stuff that's not a loan package specific. But I don't think it's going to speed things up even if we do it that way because I'm still having to wait on it to come back and notarize it myself versus someone notarizing it on their end. Happy to do it. It will cost you more because I now have extra liability, extra journal entries, a beautiful new journal, and I have to write down 9 things each time I notarize something. And I have to ask for what Uncle Bob's name is, what the baby's name is, all of that. It's just a lot of extra work, but we can do it because it is an emergency, but it will only be done for seller sides and random documents. That is my opinion. It is subject to be wrong. I would love to see your questions and comments below. And thanks for watching, guys.